back. This is part 3 of the book Changing for Good, right here. Today, I am going to talk about the preparation and action stages. Just a recap from last time, I'm continuing to share what I'm learning from this book, Changing for Good. Today, I will talk about the preparation and action stages of change. Last week, I discussed pre-contemplation and contemplation stages of change, and some processes and techniques that are useful in those stages. I also started an example with a fictional character named George and how these stages, processes, and techniques used in changing would work in his situation, where his wife told him he needs to change or she will leave him. George increased his awareness of what she meant by he needs to change. He found out that she wants him to spend more time with her by himself, without the kids, without family or friends. I will continue to share George's story throughout the stages of preparation and action, which I will share with you now. Preparation. It's getting ready to take action. It's the third stage of change. Preparation is the cornerstone of effective action. It gives us the opportunity to make a solid commitment to change, and being prepared helps you think of possible obstacles and how to handle them ahead of time. Preparation is the time to really think about the pros and cons of changing. Who is going to be affected? How is this going to affect you? This stage can also be slow and tedious, but it is vital to successful change. Taking action too soon leads to ineffective or temporary short-term change. Processes useful in the preparation stage include self-reevaluation. In this stage, self-reevaluation focuses more on what the positive version of you looks like once you have changed your behavior. What does change look like 3 months, 6 months, or even 1 year from now? How will your life be better? What are you like 3 months, 6 months, or even a year from now after you committed to change? Self-reevaluation during the preparation stage also includes making change a top priority. Change requires energy, effort, and attention. This is the time to evaluate and assess your life and your surroundings. You need to prepare yourself for the people around you, and be clear to yourself and those around you that you are setting your daily schedule, your actions, and your life around changing this behavior. Commitment is the willingness and dedication to take action and the belief in the ability to change. Commitment is not temporary. Commitment is a process that is used throughout the preparation, action, recycling, and maintenance stages. Change is not going to be easy. There will be times where you need to make tough choices and you will feel some anxiety. Here are some few techniques to reduce anxiety while committing to change. The first is to take small action steps. Prepare your environment, gather the necessary supplies, and maybe even clear some clutter. For example, if you have a goal of eating smaller portion sizes, you may need to have measuring cups or a kitchen scale so you can accurately measure your portion sizes. This is a small step you can take before taking the larger main action step. Set a date to begin. This date should be realistic, but within the next month. You may want to take advantage of your emotional readiness and commitment level, but also give you some time to prepare your environment. You can't start measuring portion sizes tomorrow if the kitchen scale you ordered on Amazon won't get here till next week. Go public. Telling your friends, coworkers, and family members increases accountability for your actions. If no one knows your goal, it is easy to give up on it. By telling others, you can gain support and they can help you be successful in your change process. Create your own plan of action. When you create your own action plan, develop it with your strengths in mind. Just because one plan worked for somebody else, it doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Be specific about what you think works best for you. You are the expert of you. Make your plan unique to you. Include techniques for coping with your own negative thoughts and doubts, as well as how to deal with things that come up in your daily life. For example, if you know the break room at work is usually filled with items while you're trying to avoid, tell your coworkers about your plan to cut out the sweets and the junk food at work. Bring your own healthy snacks. Give yourself permission to not enter the break room with everyone else. Ask a coworker to join you outside for a quick walk around the block instead. Prepare yourself and your surroundings for successful action. Along with this, Along with this idea of telling others your plan, ask some of your friends, family, coworkers to help you in specific ways. Tell others how they can be the most supportive of your plan, your goal. Tell them what they can do and what you would like them not to do. You're just going to do what's best for you right now, and you mean no offense to them, to their choices, and where they are in their own process of change. Don't take this preparation stage lightly. Take the time, really assess what it means to change this behavior. Think of all your pros and cons of this. Set yourself up for success. Prepare yourself, your family, and the environment around you. So, how does this preparation stage look like for George? George starts to envision his life with his wife 3 months, 6 months, and even 1 year from now. It is the best year of his life. He feels more connected and in love with his wife than he has ever felt. They have taken their second honeymoon and relaxed on the beaches of the Bahamas, where they always talked about going. He talked to his wife about more specifics of her vision of what time looks like together. They decided he would want to be more present and intentional when they talked on a daily basis. Once a week, they would go do something together. Go for a drive around the lake, or take a walk in the country, or have dinner at one of their favorite restaurants, or take in a movie, or do something that's similar. Then once every 3 to 4 months, they would go out of town and spend a night somewhere to do an activity one of them enjoys that does not involve work or is around the kids' activities. As far as setting a date, George thought he could start being more present and intentional as soon as this week, but he might need to consult with his therapist in learning new skills to improve this as time goes on. He also thought he could start going on a date with his wife once a week, starting in about a couple weeks. This would give him time to talk with her about what she wanted to do and look at their schedules to see when they could do it. During talks with his wife, he would ask her about activities that she would like to go on and do on maybe a weekend away. And he could start planning the first night away within the next month. He would love to go to the Bahamas while in the winter, so he could start having that conversation with his wife as well. George was getting excited about just thinking about all the good times he was planning with his wife. But then he started to get a little worried about what his kids would do when they were gone for a night or even a week at the Bahamas. They hadn't really even left them with anyone before. He did remember, though, that his parents and sister had said that they would be glad to take their kids for a short while if he wanted to go somewhere with his wife. He felt blessed to have some relatives close, so he would ask them to see if they're still interested in that, and maybe ask his wife for some suggestions as well. Okay, now let's talk about the next stage, the action stage. It's time to move. It's time to take action. The plan has been made, the preparations are done, and here are some useful processes in this stage. Countering. Countering is substituting a healthy response for problem behaviors. These include techniques such as active diversion, counterthinking, and assertiveness. Active diversion is doing things that keep you busy, that refocuses your energy on things that are enjoyable, healthy, and make it harder to do your problem behavior. Exercise, gardening, or other hobbies and relaxation methods such as yoga, meditation, prayer, progressive muscle relaxation are all examples of active diversion. Counterthinking. Counterthinking is when you replace troubled or negative thoughts with more positive ones. Evaluate your thoughts. What are they telling yourself that makes you so upset, irritated, or annoyed? Watch your words. Words such as always, never, everything, must, have to, need to, can't, all, excuse me, Only and should are very rigid, limited, and absolute. Excuse me. And only should be, and really only should be removed from your vocabulary. Start questioning and challenging your thinking. Assertiveness. Assertiveness is exercising your right to communicate your thoughts, feelings, wishes, and intentions. You have the right to be heard, to influence other people, to make mistakes, to bring attention to yourself, to change your mind, to judge your own thoughts and feelings, to resist other people's judgments, and not to have to justify yourself. You also have the right not to have all the knowledge. You have the right to have limited responsibility for others and limited time. And you have the right to have your limits respected. Next is environmental control. Environmental control is another process of change useful in the action stage. This involves changing the situation and surroundings around us to help control behaviors. It is restructuring the environment to decrease the likelihood of this problematic behavior. This includes techniques such as avoidance, cues, and setting reminders. Avoidance is eliminating the temptation by not having things around you that will tempt you. Don't bring junk food into the house if you're trying to avoid it. Cues are rehearsed ways of responding. To create a mental movie of you effectively responding to the problematic cues. Remember, we used a mental movie last time to create that not so good life a year from now after not changing. Well, this is creating a mental movie of you effectively responding to a problematic cue. For example, you can rehearse your response to your generous coworkers who bring those delicious baked goods to share with everyone in the break room, but you are trying to avoid them. So practice what you would say and how you would say it, so when the day comes, you are prepared to take the action that's best for you. Set reminders. We use clocks, calendars, and to-do lists to help us remember what we set out as priorities in our life. Use these tools to remind yourself of your goals, your plan, and your responses. Reward yourself for taking action toward your goal. Most people tend to punish themselves more than they reward themselves. Give yourself permission to pat yourself on the back for the little steps in changing. This includes changes in your self-image and your self-esteem. Make a written contract with yourself for what you plan to do, along with the rewards you will give yourself for making progress. This is so much stronger than a verbal idea. During the action stage of change, it is more important than ever to depend on helping relationships. Ways to enlist the help of others during this stage include buddying up for accountability. You can exercise together. You can have someone help you rearrange your home or your cupboards and your pantries to assist with environmental control. Get stroked through rewards from others, including words of encouragement, compliments, extra hugs, small gifts, back massages, whatever. Remind yourself and remind your others of what is not helpful to you. Remember to keep it positive. Aim for 3 positive comments to every negative one. Seek support from outside family and friends if needed. Check out support groups in your area that are focused around successful programs or successful progress of your problem behavior. For example, AA or Weight Watchers. All right, so let's look at what this action stage looks like for George. George knew he would need the most help from his wife. He gave her permission to be assertive in telling him when she was feeling left out, alone, or when she wanted to spend more time with him by himself. He wrote down the plan to have one date night a week, one night away, once every 3 to 4 months, and to go to the Bahamas during the winter. He wrote these down on a sticky note to put in his planner as a reminder to schedule time with his wife. He set a reminder on his phone to go off as he was leaving work to be attentive and present with his wife when he got home. His rewards were easy. He would get more love and affection from his wife, and she would be happier, and they would spend more time with each other. So this is the preparation and action stage. So next week, we are going to kind of wrap up the book a little bit with the maintenance, recycling, and termination stages. Thank you, and thanks for staying with me through my little coughing. We'll hopefully see you next week. Please comment below, send me questions on anything, how this has been helpful to you, or just message me directly to see if you have any questions. I was happy to answer them for you. Thank you and have a good day.